Washington all the way over to Roland Park. That's the eastmost boundary. The resources that we talk about, it's not that there are resources that haven't come to Park Heights, it's resources that haven't been administered properly that comes to Park Heights and in Northwest Baltimore. It is the only community and the only district in the city that has a dedicated stream of funding, from racetrack impact funds and now to slots revenue. So we've seen over $20-some million come through Northwest Baltimore that has not been accounted for, has not been audited, and has not been administered properly. I'll say that like has not been administered properly, but yet we still see communities over there with 2,300 vacant houses. We still see some of the highest crime elements in Northwest Baltimore, and we see we have no workforce development programs there, so our young people still don't have jobs, and we have a 36% unemployment rate in that area. That's the resources that we're talking about. There's money there, but it's not being used for those same resources that the community needs.
Question? Yes, sir.
I have a question. That's to anybody who can answer. As a member of this Committee for Concerned Citizens, I'm very concerned by the fact that too many times our legislators get into office and they stay too long. Yes. They stay too long, and there needs to be some type of term limit. I mean, to stay in office for 30 years and accomplish nothing. Really accomplish nothing. I would like to see some type of change being made in that law that puts a limit on the time these people stay in office, because they're doing nothing there but staying there, drawing down money, and they're not doing a darn thing for the citizens.
Yes, sir. And then we come.
Yeah, Mark Cannon. I'd like to direct my question to you guys. Ken, I haven't heard enough about the youth jail. What's going to happen with it, the smaller venue, some of the money being directed to the city for resources, for rehabilitation, youth homelessness, that type of thing. Also, can we revisit the gas tax, replace it with something else, like maybe a 2% sales tax for 5 years? The monies with the casinos are kicking in. So I'd like to see if we can revisit that also. But the youth is more important to me than anything.
Quickly on the youth center that we stopped, they are looking at an existing facility somewhere in the complex. The proposal to build the youth center was generated because the youth now are housed with the older inmates, and in essence learning from the older inmates how to be better criminals. They have to be separated. Yeah. But we didn't need a multi-million-dollar brand new facility to do it. We also said you need to direct more money into education and recreation and programs where youngsters can go back into their community, get some skills and education and move forward. As it relates to the gas tax, because I only have 2 minutes, the likelihood of that being repealed is slim. I'm going to be honest with you. The problem with the sales tax, whether it's a penny or 2 cents, it's a regressive tax and it's applicable to everyone. The gas is just for people who drive cars and trucks, and we got a lot of people who come visit from surrounding states. So that the gas tax kind of spreads it out. But the sales tax is extremely regressive, especially for poor people and working people.
I was saying maybe about 5 years.
Okay.
But I understand what you're
All
saying.
right, all right. Yes, ma'am. And then I'm coming to yes.
My question is to the one that's running for city attorney. My question is,
Little louder.
my question is, what do you all plan to do about police brutality and all the police that's murdering our black men?
Well, one of the primary focuses that I have is equitable and efficient prosecution, and that means that across the board. I take offense personally myself. I too am proud military. I was a military police officer in the United States Army National Guard. So I took the same oath that they take to protect and serve. I was a garrison police officer. So I understand that commitment that you have to the community as a whole. There are situations that you will be confronted with, but there's also the human spirit that you have to have when you come to any situation. You have constitutional rights and civil rights that have to be balanced. So a police officer has a lot of things going on in their mind at one time. But the one thing that cannot leave their mind is the value of a human life. that must be guarded and protected at all costs. And so because of that role and responsibility that they have, if you do something that crosses that line, you must be held accountable. And the problem is, and let's be clear, probably 70% of the officers are not from here. I'm from Baltimore. I know Baltimore. I am Baltimore. These guys come out from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. They come in, they get a paycheck, they get to do what they do, and then they go back home. They don't have to deal with this. They can't distinguish North Avenue from Northern Parkway, but they can tell you given communities. If you break the law, I'm going to hold you accountable to the maximum, period.
Amen.
That's it.
Amen.
Other questions of those who spoke?